In 2026, the Iowa Senate and governor's race are expected to be much closer than maybe a lot of people expected heading into the 2026 cycle. But before we get into the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and if you're interested in joining the channel as a member, you can do that for just $1.99 a month. There's some amazing perks, and you can check those out down below. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So, Rob Sand is a really fantastic candidate across the state of Iowa for the governor's race, running against Zach Lane, and really expected to win this race for Iowa governor. U.S. Senate seat is a little different. Ashley Hinson, a strong candidate, as well as Josh Turek, both running good campaigns. Ashley Hinson, a strong candidate who's outperformed Donald Trump in Iowa before. But the circumstances in 2026 are slightly different. Of course, Donald Trump is not on the ballot. Of course, Donald Trump it's his midterm cycle for his second term, where he's deeply disapproved of. He has people concerned about the economy. He has people concerned about the war in Iran, and some of these issues are really impacting Iowa on a real level. And Iowans are concerned about what this means going forward. So there's a real concern across the board for what this could mean for Republicans across the state. A new Suffolk poll has Rob Sand leading the governor's race by about 4 percentage points, but on the same poll, Ashley Hinson leading the Senate race by about 4% over Josh Turek as well. And while some people may be surprised of this, some people may not, I'm not personally very surprised of this. I mean, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I believe Rob Sand's on track to be the next governor of the state of Iowa, and I still believe that Ashley Hinson has the upper hand in the U.S. Senate race in Iowa. And that's not to discredit Josh Turek in any way, shape, or form. Josh Turek's still a really great candidate, but in a year like this, everything kind of has to go right for you in a state like Iowa, and Josh Turek has one thing that's not quite gone right for him, and that's his Republican opponent. You know, if this was a state like Texas where you have a Ken Paxton, for example, then sure, this race would be much closer, if not maybe Josh Turek leading, but that's just not the case. Ashley Hinson is not Ken Paxton, and for that reason, we're seeing Ashley Hinson continue to lead in the U.S. Senate polls. Meanwhile, Rob Sand leads in the governor's race. And that's a real probability. That's something that's really going to happen here, no matter what happens. Even if Josh Turek ends up winning on election night, there's going to be a substantial amount of voters who vote for Rob Sand and likewise vote for Ashley Hinson. It's not going to be necessarily a surprise to see on election night when Rob Sand wins by this larger margin than maybe Ashley Hinson will, or maybe if Josh Turek wins, Rob Sand would win by a larger margin. We'll have to wait and see, of course, the exact specifics, but of course, very substantial nonetheless. So, with that said, I want to take a look back at some history in the state of Iowa. First, dating back to 2024 when Trump won the state by 13 percentage points. And 13 percentage points seems to be the topic that we have a lot on this channel. 13% in Iowa, 13% in Texas, 13% in Alaska, and these are the states that we are focusing on in the 2026 midterms as potential flips. The only other one that we're focusing on that's slightly closer is the state of Ohio with 11.2% in favor of Trump in 2024. And then the other states like Maine went to Kamala Harris by 7%. North Carolina only went to Donald Trump by 3%. Georgia only went to Donald Trump by 2%. Michigan only by a percentage point and a half. So you see what I'm saying here. I mean, Texas, Iowa, and Alaska, and even Ohio are the toughest races for Democrats to win this cycle. I mean, when Donald Trump wins these states by double digits, it's increasingly hard to win these on a statewide level come November of this year. Although everything is playing into Democrats' favor in the 2026 midterms, including this Iowa's governor's race. I mean, at this point, Rob Sand's on track to be the next governor of the state of Iowa. Meanwhile, perhaps we will not see the same on the Senate level. Ashley Hinson still leading in those polling numbers. But, of course, plenty of time for things to change around. But as of today and the Suffolk poll, we are looking at a very high potential that Rob Sand wins the governor's race. Meanwhile, the Senate race goes to Ashley Hinson. So, but yeah, I mean, very substantial when you see a Trump plus 13, Trump plus 11 state really be competitive, though. I mean, for Ashley Hinson to only be ahead by 4 percentage points is substantial and something that Josh Turek can overcome. Will he? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure that I would claim that he could, but we'll see. And I also want to date back to the governor's race in 2022 when Kim Reynolds won the state of Iowa by 18.5 percentage points. You date that back to 2018, she won by 2.7%. Remind you, Kim Reynolds, the incumbent governor of the state of Iowa, and won by 2.7% back in 2018. 2022, date that to 16%. No, 18%. My apologies. 18.5% in 2022. So Rob Sand on track to be the next governor of Iowa, and it's not really surprising. I mean, like I said, again, when we date back to 2018, this race was increasingly competitive for the governor's race across the state of Iowa, given back in 2018, it was Trump's first term. We seen a movement against him, but the state of Iowa was also closer back then. I mean, 2016, Donald Trump won the state by 9.4%. So a little bit closer than his margin of that in 2024. So yeah, I wanted to point those things out, and I also want to take a final moment to kind of look at the control of Senate, where Ashley Hinson currently is sitting at about a 65% chance of winning the U.S. Senate race against Josh Turek. Meanwhile, in the governor's level, we're seeing Rob Sand have about a 67% chance of winning the governor's race. So Senate race, we're seeing, again, Ashley Hinson, 65% chance, 66% chance, somewhere around that margin. And in the governor's race, Rob Sand, fully expected to win that race. So these are going to be really interesting races, really important races for the Democrats. If Democrats can flip both, that's really substantial towards not only showing that there is this rebuke of Donald Trump, but also showing that the U.S. Senate race, for example, if it could go to the Democrats, showing that, I mean, if Iowa is going to the Democrats, I find it hard to believe that states like Alaska or Ohio, maybe even Texas, Maine for sure, and North Carolina aren't going to the Democrats. I just find that increasingly hard to believe if the state of Iowa goes to the Dems. Of course, right now, that's not the full expectation, but important nonetheless. So finally, I want to look at the prediction odds. So this is the governor's race, where the Cook Political Report, Fox News, Inside Elections, and Race to the White House all have this ranking as a Democratic either lean or tilt. In the case of Inside Elections, Real Clear Politics and the Crystal Ball have it as a toss-up. Go to the 2026 Senate election, and more of these have it as a toss-up. Only The Economist and the Crystal Ball have this as lean Republican. I mean, Real Clear Politics, toss-up. Silver Bulletin, toss-up. Race to the White House, toss-up. Fox News, 50+1. Decision Desk HQ, the Cook Political Report, all toss-up. So the Senate race is increasingly becoming more competitive. Meanwhile, the governor's race is proving that Democrat Rob Sand is likely to win that race. And again, like I've said throughout the video, it's not really surprising. We've seen this time and time again. This new poll that we're seeing out is not surprising. I mean, it's not surprising to see Rob Sand ahead. Ashley Hinson, increasingly, maybe even concerned about the fact that Josh Turek is chipping away at her lead slowly but surely. But, of course, we'll have to see. We've seen some polling numbers with Josh Turek certainly closer than this one to Ashley Hinson. So it's all going to come down to who votes on Election Day and what happens in the coming months to see how that shapes out. So with that all said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys believe that Josh Turek will win this Senate race, or do you believe that Ashley Hinson will? What do you think about the governor's race? Do you believe, like I do, that Rob Sand is the clear favorite to win that race, or do you believe something slightly different? Do you believe that Zach Lane can pull out a victory in the state of Iowa for the governor's race? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you can become a channel member for just $1.99 a month, and you can check out all the perks for that down below. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.